Welcome into the recap of the Cubs' dramatic, much-needed 7-6 victory over the Pittsburgh Pirates to salvage one of the three games this weekend at Wrigley Field. I'm David Kaplan. It's brought to you by our great partners at Lakeside Bank, where I've been a client for more than 20 years. I recommend checking, and Lakeside's Kasasa Cash Checking. I know Kasasa is a funny name, but it's always free checking, and it pays interest. Check it out. Lakeside Bank, as they say, it's about time. All right, let's get into this. I was traveling back, and I am watching the Cubs game the entire way, sitting at the airport, a little bit of a delay, and watched the Cubs get the job done in most unlikely fashion, the way the offense has been performing. Michael Busch, who's just been horrible offensively, comes up with a huge hit in the eighth. And the Pirates defense, they throw the ball away, just tossing it back to the infield. Dansby Swanson, heads up play, man. He scores the tying run. So 2 runs come home, and the Cubs come back and tie the ball game 6-6. They had fallen behind 5-0. And I know you're all waiting for me to rip Jameson Taillon, who did not pitch very well today. But guess what? He settled down, and he gave you 6 innings. 5-0 in the second, and he gutted it out because you just can't go to the bullpen. And now Hunter Harvey's on the injured list. Matt Boyd's on the injured list. Cade Horton's on the injured list. Like, all these dudes are hurt. You got to get some length out of your starters. And I thought he buckled down on a very windy day and did a really, really solid job after the grand slam that he gave up. So it's a 5-0 ball game. Here's how it got going. O'Neill Cruz in the first. That dude's a monster, man. A monster. It's 1-0. In the second, Brandon Lowe grand slam. It's 5-0. Cubs start to mount their comeback. Dansby hits his second of the season, and it is a 5-1 game. Ballesteros, a homer, his second of the season. And all of a sudden, you start to feel like they're creeping a little bit closer. I was not happy sitting there watching this game going, they're going to get swept at home by the Pirates? And the Pirates have some talent. I'm not going to tell you they don't. Then Brandon Lowe again in the fifth hits a home run. Bregman, a sac fly. That gets a run home. Bregman again with a sac fly. It was really a pop-up, and the second baseman stumbled. He caught it, fell. Really smart. Dansby, here he comes. He scores in the seventh, get him a little closer. And then in the eighth, Michael Busch delivers, as I was talking. A flare to left center. Wasn't exceptionally well struck. It was struck enough to evade the shortstop, and boom. Bad throw into the infield, and we are tied. And then Carson Kelly, with the bases loaded, delivers a rocket to right center. As soon as it left the bat, ball game over, cue the music, and the Cubs win. Player of the game today, you know, when you give up 6 runs, it's hard to give it to one of your pitchers. But if you look at the game-winning hit today, I thought the game-winning hit from Carson Kelly, he had 2 hits and an RBI in the game, was a huge play. But you know who I'm going to give it to? I'm going to give it to Michael Busch. Because if he doesn't come up with that flare to left center in the 8th inning, the Cubs lose. The Cubs are mired in a lot of more difficulty. Now they're only 2 games back in the division. You just saw the Brewers get swept. A lot of the better teams in baseball are not off to great starts. Boston's been struggling. The Blue Jays in the World Series last year, they've been struggling. So I'm going to give the Gallagher Insurance Player of the Game to Michael Busch for that game-tying flare to left center in the 8th. Since 1927, our friends at Gallagher have been serving Chicago, partnering with businesses of every size to provide insurance risk management. Learn more at ajg.com. All right, let's go inside the box score. Nico Horner had 2 knocks and scored a run today. Ballesteros, 2 more hits. All this dude does is rake. And he hit a home run, as I told you. And then you had a 2-hit day for Carson Kelly with the game winner. Cubs bang out 10 hits. For the Pirates, they got a really good team. 2 hits, both home runs for Brandon Lowe. 2 hits for O'Hearn. And then you had the home run from O'Neill Cruz. And before we get out of here, let's take a look at the Hooters winging its starting pitching matchup. Bubba Chandler, 5 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs. They're earned 4 Ks, 2 walks, and allowed 2 home runs for the Cubs. Tyone's numbers don't look great, but he had his strikeout ball going today. Jamison Tyone, 6 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs. They're all earned. Struck out 10. When does this dude strike out that type of number? Walked 2, but did allow 3 home runs. Martin, Roberts, and Palencia finished it up. Next up, by the way, it's brought to you by our great partners at Studio 41 Home Design Showroom. They did this awesome kitchen that my wife helped design. Studio41.com. Next up, a trip to Philadelphia. They haven't been playing great ball, but they've got big-time pitching like Sanchez. The Cubs better bring their hitting shoes in a big, big way. Gets going tomorrow. I'll have the recap when that game goes final. Have a great rest of your Sunday night. I'll see you in the morning on the radio. Full day of programming on a recap. Take that.